Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'll be going through the 5 AFL cult figures that I missed. Now this video is being made in light of Caden McDonald's new song called, coincidentally, Cult Figures That I Miss, and it's an absolute tune if you don't mind. So go and listen to that. The description will be down in the description below. So go and listen to it. It's a great song, as I've said, and it sparked a video idea for me, something that does not come very easily. Now a cult figure in the AFL is a player that is beloved by fans. Now, it could be the AFL community or more specifically just one person's team. So, like, you know, St Kilda love Fraser Garrick. I know that he was an AFL cult figure, but, you know, in the same sentence, the St Kilda fans loved him. So, some characteristics on a cult figure could be a dad bod, it could be a disgusting haircut, it may be some questionable tattoos, it might be the way they play the game. It may even be their name as well. Mike Pike, for example. Could be their nationality, you know. Mike Pike was a Canadian with a funny name. He was a bloody good player as well, but that is beyond the point. He's a cult figure. Could be their Twitter game, like Daniel Gorringe, or it could be because they like to snort lines and drink piss like Dane Swan. So, without any further ado, let's get into the 5. Right. Number 5 is Lewis Roberts-Thompson from Sydney. Name speaks for itself, doesn't it? Double-barreled last name, rolls off the tongue. LRT was a genuine rock in the back line. Like, if there was an actor like Lewis Roberts-Thompson, it would be Dwayne, The Rock Johnson, because he was much like him. He wasn't muscly, he was rather skinny, and he had a mop of a haircut. He genuinely looked like a mop. I feel like people could have just turned him upside down and cleaned the floors with him. Like, he looked like a mop. But he was just good. 2-time premiership defender, speaks for itself, both in 05 and 2012. Played a lot of games, like well more than somebody of his calibre of player should have done. He was very clumsy with the ball, and I feel like whenever he got near the ball, all of Sydney held their breath. But he was always really clean with it. As much as he looked like he was going to foobar it, he'd come out of the pack looking like he's just set up all the goals for them, didn't he? He just come out looking like a star, even though he got himself into the situation that he was trying to get himself out of. It was amazing. Made it really difficult for himself. But Lewis Roberts-Thompson was always just so good. Like, you knew that whatever forward was on him was going to have a hard day because he was just always there. He just always found the ball. Like, he was so quiet when he moved. You'd be sitting in the pocket, just minding your own business, reading the stock market, and he'd be off getting 30 possessions and setting up Barry Hall to not only knock people out, but kick some sausages as well. So, Lewis Roberts-Thompson is the 5th cult figure that I miss. On to number 4. Number 4 is Nathan Eagleton from the Western Bulldogs. Now, I recently did a video about how the Western Bulldogs nearly changed the AFL in 2009, and this bald-headed, lovely man was a pretty good reason why. Now, obviously, he had a very, 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 very bald head, and it was a very, 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 very shiny bald head as well, but he was always Mr. Reliable. He was like Mike Hussey. Not Mr. Cricket, but Mr. Reliable. If you require 100 to be made in the middle order, it's going to be made by Mike Hussey, isn't it? Much like if you needed a brute force, bald-headed man in the midfield, it was going to be the Bulldog of Nathan Eagleton. Now, he was just everywhere, wasn't he? He always found space. He was beautiful with the ball, had a face for radio, and a pretty funny last name. So that is all the requirements you need for being a cult figure. He was loved by the Western Bulldogs, but he was always somebody that was always there, sort of thing. Like, Brad Johnson was obviously the star of the show, but if you don't have Nathan Eagleton, you don't have Brad Johnson, do you? It's just like Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. You don't have Michael Jordan without Scottie Pippen, do you? So, I don't know, I don't watch basketball, you might, I don't know. But, yeah, Nathan Eagleton was always there, and he just always found the ball. That midfield should have won a premiership, and they didn't. So, yeah, that sucks, doesn't it? Damn. But, you know, I think that, yeah, he was always there, played a lot of the games that the Western Bulldogs were successful in, and his departure probably led to their downfall a little bit as well. Like, him leaving with Brad Johnson at the same time, big hole in that midfield that does not get filled very easily, especially with Ryan Griffin going the next year. Holy balls, you're not recovering from that very quickly. But, yeah, Nathan Eagleton, hard nut around the ball, holy jeez, he could win a contest, he could halve a contest, take a tackle and give one too. He was just fantastic. Wish that we saw more like him. We don't anymore. He's sort of a lost breed of player, much like Cameron Ling, who we will be getting to. So, Nathan Eagleton is the 4th AFL cult figure that I miss. The number 3 cult figure that I miss is Quinton Lynch, the Q-stick. He had the name, he had the nickname, he had the team, and he had the... What else do you have? He had the glove as well. How could I forget about the glove? Whenever he got within at least 150 metres of goal, the glove was off. It was into the stratosphere. Oh, it was good. It was fantastic. So, Quinton Lynch gets on this list. He was a fantastic second ruckman who just about did Dean Cox's job for him. He played in a team full of cult figures, vis-a-vis Dean Cox, Chris Judd, Daniel Chick, Daniel Kerr, Ben Cousins. I tell you what, if you were looking for a cult figure within the cult figures, it was Quinton Lynch. He was under the radar like there was no tomorrow. Had the nickname with the Q-stick. Quinton Lynch is a name only a mother could choose. And he had a face for radio. So, that's even better, really. Yeah, what a man. Could roost a ball at least 80 metres, which was lovely. And being from Subiaco, everybody's over there is a bit backwards. Not only in the time zones, but they are just a bit backwards as they go. So, yeah, especially at West Coast. But yeah, Quinton Lynch is my number 3 cult figure that I miss. What a man. What a glove. What a legend. We don't see many second ruckmans like that anymore. And I guess the third man up rule is a thing of the past. But if Dean Cox went down, you could always, now, if Brodie Grundy goes down and you're the opposition ruckman, you know that you're going to have a field day for the rest of the day because you're going to be on what? Who would you be on even? Jordan Roughhead, probably. Still a very tall bloke, but doesn't have that sort of ruck craft that you're looking for. Whereas Dean Cox goes down for whatever reason, Quinton Lynch is going to give you at least 99% of what Dean Cox gave you. So, yeah, his role in the team was priceless, and that's why he belongs on this list. Up the Q-stick. Right, number 2, and this one is a little bit of a... Well, I don't really miss him because I never got to see him play, but my number 2 cult figure is Tony Madra. And my mum is a massive Tony Madra fan, so this is going to... Well, she won't watch this anyway, but yeah, that's sad. Yeah, but she'll love seeing this if she ever sees this, which she won't, which is also sad. But, yeah, Tony Madra was fantastic. He had a forte of taking hangers and kicking goals, which is all you want from your key forward, really, isn't it? There's a season, I can't remember what season, but he kicked 129 goals, I think, which was an average of 5.5. Stupid. You're not going to find a key forward that does that nowadays, not even the best of the best. Buddy Franklin, when he's not injured, can't even average that. Couldn't really average that when he went to Sydney anyway. So, yeah, he was fantastic. That era of football for key forwards was fantastic. Madra, Ablett, Dunstall, Lockett. Who else? Carey. Oh, it was good. And it's just a shame that players like that don't even exist anymore. Probably the most unlucky person in the competition not to win a flag. Now, you always say that, Nick Riewoldt was unlucky, Lenny Hayes was unlucky. Players like that, of that calibre, were unlucky because they got to grand finals, they paid their dues, just couldn't quite win the flag. Brad Johnson would be another one. But at the end of the day, they didn't win a flag, did they? Whereas Adelaide did in that time, and Tony Madra did deserve that flag in 1997. Adelaide belted the crap out of everyone that year. They won the game after half-time, and Madra had put in the work that year, so they deserved to win that flag, and he did as well. So that's why I say he's the most unlucky person never to win a flag. But he was a god. In Adelaide, he was a god. Madra. Cult figure being in the name, the legend, the haircut, the specky, and the goal. Deserving of this list. And now we move on to the number 1 cult figure that I miss. It's Cameron Ling. Now, a lot of people are like, oh no, where's Fraser Garrick? Now, this video, I didn't want it to be too cliche. I feel like when people are talking about cult figures, the names like Fev, Acker, Fraser, Jake King, they're all great cult figures, but they're cliche cult figures. Whereas I wanted people that were a bit left field. Now, Cameron Ling's probably not, because he's still on our tallies. But, yeah, I just think that he deserved to be on this list. He was a hard nut. He was a ranger. Had a questionable face. Damn. Sorry, Cameron. But, yeah, I think that, he fit the bill to be a cult figure, which was lovely. Kicked it out on the full from the goal line, which is just hilarious. I still remember that, and it comes up all the time on Saturday night footy, and it's just great to watch. But yeah, I think that he deserves to be on this list. He deserves to be number one because there's not enough midfielders like him anymore. He didn't need to be a possession player, although he always was. The role that Cameron Ling played then, of 35 possessions, 50 tackles, and a goal, is now the equivalent of 15 disposals and a goal, sort of thing. Like, he didn't need to be a possession player, but he was. Pressure was around the ground was immense. Like, if you had the ball, he was right behind you. He was good in front of goal. He was great in congestion. Wasn't afraid to take a hit as well. So, I do miss him because, and it goes with a lot of these players as well, there's just not enough people like them. And I get it, the game has evolved. Of course it has. No longer people scoring 150 to 160 anymore. Last night was 57 to 35. So, or whatever it was. I think it was less than that. But, yeah, I wish that we had more people like that. And unfortunately, I don't think they're coming back. I think that, of course they're not, but I think that there are glimpses of these players in current players. I think that, there's a lot of players that remind me of Cameron Ling, but nobody will ever be him. So we move on, don't we? But look, they are the 5 cult figures that I miss. As I said, I didn't want them to be too cliche. I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know who your favourite cult figures are down below as well. Hope that you enjoyed. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the footy. Enjoy KITTEN's song as well, because it was a lot of fun to listen to. I'll probably go and listen to it now because it was that good. But yeah, cheerio, sayonara, and goodbye.